Alright, here is a perfect place. I don't know. I kind of like sitting here sometimes. Whew. This update, I'm gonna be talking about this update pretty often. So, yeah, because this one, we're gonna be talking about this update for like 8 weeks. I say 8 weeks because, you know, no, they're not gonna know. I say 8 weeks because, well, we're gonna have a fourth unique. That's the first thing I'm saying. We're gonna have a fourth unique, and it updates every 2 weeks. They might slide in something every 2 weeks, so I might be talking about this same update every 2 weeks. We have 4 teams. 4 times 2 is 8, so 8 weeks. So we're gonna be talking about this possibly for 8 weeks. So the first thing is the unique. Someone data mined, and they showed the portraits for Radisson, which it looks very nice. I like how it looks, but it's data mined. So we gotta wait for the official portraits to show up. But Radis looks nice, and if I had to choose a favorite, it had to be Chosu. Second favorite is Mirai. They have like this shadow effect. I'm assuming that's probably for the portrait. Like normal, and then the eyes turn purple. I guess Blackland's eyes will turn yellow, while Hooter's eyes will turn blue, and Wolf Dog's eyes will turn red. Not bad though. Not to mention, I'm not gonna tune. Well, It depends. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna have to retune a 10 out of 10 all over again. I would hope not. I would hope not. Okay. Second thing was we're apparently going to be getting a new character, but that's later on. They're probably still working on finishing touches before they release the promotion for the next character. The next character is going to be 6th character for Wolf Dog. So I assume that Wild Hooter and Radis will get one too. Second one's going to be for Wolf Dog. I got a feeling it's another female. I completely lost hope of a male character. It's probably going to be another female. Because the female sells. Am I right? We've had this conversation multiple times. Y'all, it's going to be another female. I'll actually generally be surprised if they finally be like, we have too many females. Let's finally go ahead and give a male character. I have no hope. It's going to be another female. What about Wild Hooter? Another female. What about the 6th one for Radis? Another female. I lost hope. So then there's a new gacha. It's a new possible gacha named Vampire Hunter, and so far there's been discussion over how it looks. Now, me personally, I like how it looks. It's just when you think about the reality of it, like trying to actually wear that and then move around and fight in it, I that looks a little bit too uncomfortable to move around and fight in. But if we're talking about modeling, it makes sense. A lot of the clothes, a lot of the clothes that are designed, a lot of clothes that are designed for some of these costumes, they look more so just a modeling or just to wear to take pictures in, rather than to actually fight in them. And add on if this is fiction, yeah, it kind of makes sense. For example, what I'm wearing right, for example, what my body is wearing right now. I mean, some people are trained to move. Some people are trained to walk, dance, and run in high heels, but an actual person uh, might have difficulty walking around in the high heels that my body have on, and then wearing this, the gloves that she got on, and they will probably slide off. She'll probably have issues running around because of these gloves. The gloves will slide off. But all in all, the Vampire Hunter outfit looks pretty cool. I can't wait to see the rest of it. Well, for everyone else. Okay, this one, next part is crucial. So, yeah, the next part is crucial. We're getting a new place, and we got like two bosses revealed so far. The first one is possibly Livia's sister, so that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting story dialogue. The second one is Sui. Poor Bai is going to go through it. First people, first people can't play her, so they were frustrated with her. Then they bash her. Then they call her weak and useless because they don't wanna try to learn how to play her and be brainless. Then you have people bullying Bai for years, and because people have multiple reasons that weren't that you can argue are okay-ish, but others is just clownish. Then you have her story, her background. People were belittle. Well, people were calling her names and giving her the bombastic side eye because she took the sword from Sui, and Sui was their prodigy. So they don't have their prodigy anymore, and it puts their clan to shame. And now she's just going through it to the story. I swear, Bai gets no break. I can actually kind of relate. I get no break either. Bai gets no break. Oh lord, poor Bai. She gets no break. Now she's gonna have to deal with. Now she's gonna have to deal with being mentally nerfed because of her sister. I'm curious to see how does she get out that ice, and is that Sue or I'm curious to see how did how did they get to that point? Like, why are we fighting Sue? Why are we fighting Sue? How did they get her out of that ice? Because last time we checked, she was in that ice, and the whole reason why Bai became a closers and working for closers as a teacher for Luna, Soma, and Seth is because she's been trying to find a way how to get Sui out of that ice. Now I'm wondering, how did Sui get out of that ice? What happened? I'm wondering what they cook up with that. But I got a feeling it's gonna be something where everyone's like, huh? I have a feeling everyone's gonna be like, huh? This made no sense. What you mean? Y'all just throwing stuff in this story at this point. uh, so they had two bosses, and then we got 9 new shields. So y'all know we're gonna pick 6 out of 9 and call out the best combo and so forth. So it'll be similar to Flame Wave. I would not be surprised if they're gonna use the same mechanic for Flame Wave. You know how when gate these are people who are old. Remember how we had the board for Gatewave, and it's similar to what we have for Flamewave? You know, the Flamewave solo sides. Gatewave used to have it, but then they took that board and gave it to Flamewave instead, so Flamewave got the solo side dungeons and so forth. Gatewave, you can just enter once and then they adjusted the awards and so forth. I got a feeling they're going to do the same way for Flamewave, but I could be wrong. Anyways, what actually doesn't surprise me, but at the same time it threw a curveball, is the fact that now we're going to have a red third module. So now we get to have enhancement services for a third module. So that's fun. The thing is, I haven't even gotten to tuning yet, but we'll get there. The thing is, the third module, the craft requirements is 400 mil, and yes, I'm about to type it. $400 mil, 10k. Oh, 10k chrome and 10k. Now, I typed this out because I need to give y'all a heads up, and I just realized I walked in here with the wrong triggers, but that is okay because I can just walk out and use the right one. So I need y'all to listen to me. I need y'all to listen to me for this one because I don't want any of y'all complain. I want y'all to stop this. We want to try to stop this in its tracks. At the moment, it's going to go over everyone's head, and I need to be right back. I can hold it for a little longer. Anyways, where are you about to go with this? Remember how everyone remember how most of the people, you know, that's brain dead and everything, to be like FIB scam, found item bonus is a scam. You know what found item bonus is? It's luck. Found item bonus is basically luck. It helps you drop faster. Disregard the fact that this trigger's got bonus credits, so it helps you get credits faster. The normal credits, that is. Found item bonus actually does work. It helps your grind. It helps your overall grind become quicker. Well, let me put it this way. Found item bonus makes your overall grind for dropping something quicker. I drop most of my reds. I drop most of my reds, especially for Dragon King. I've been dropping my reds like crazy using these triggers. I literally have gameplay on this channel where I'm sitting down running the scam key dungeon. I even drop reds in some of these videos. If you go to my party video, I was literally dropping reds in that videos using the same triggers where people keep saying found item bonus is a scam. No. I won't drop a red here, but hold on. We need to get this found. We need to clear up this found item bonus thingy, because over and over people be like found item bonus is scam and blah blah blah, and those people be the same people complaining about why can't they drop and they've been complaining about this for a very long time. They've been complaining about this for about a couple of years now. Just sitting down saying FIB scam, don't do this and everything. But they be the main ones crying about, why can't I drop a red? Red Doko. Red where? Y'all have to make it make sense. Y'all have to make it make sense. That's why y'all look like entitled Karens. Y'all need to make it make sense. I don't want to hear it this time, because if you don't want to pay, I know y'all don't mind paying 400 mil. Some of y'all don't mind paying 400 mil, but this is per character. This is going to be per character. If you don't want to pay 400 mil plus 10,000 sticky residue plus 10,000 chromatic essence per character, if I were you, I would use these triggers so that you can drop the model wall quicker than the fact that you have to craft the model. And I have to remind you, the red craft is untradeable. You know it's going to be untradeable. So if you don't want to go down that route and have to actually craft the model, I would use the same triggers that y'all keep running away from so that y'all can drop the red. If y'all don't want to spend your resources that you guys probably struggle with and are too lazy to grind, I would use the Beast King purple triggers, and I would use them to drop the third model. This time I want no excuse. I don't care if you guys are like, I use Beast King red, or I use break challenge. I use break challenge triggers and I still drop reds. Okay, but this is for the people. I'm telling this for the people who struggle to drop or struggle with dropping stuff, and they be the main ones in global chat all day, every day, saying red Doku, red rare. Why can't I drop a red? I'm 200 runs in. Listen, if you don't want to be, if you don't want to be around, let's say 400 or 500 runs in and you don't drop a red, I would use these Beast King purple triggers, because this one actually matters. Now we're gonna have to spend wisely. We're going to have to spend wiser, and we're going to have to be much more careful when it comes to our spending. But I like costumes. I'll get to that. We're going to have to be wiser when it comes to spending for stuff, because now the updates are going to start to get more and more expensive. For example, we are still, as of December the 9th, 2024, we are still recovering from some certain idiots that kept begging for Dragon King. Yeah, I'm going there too. We're still recovering from certain idiots who decided that they want to rush content and watch the world burn. They kept pressing and pressuring the staff to release Dragon King, to the point where the staff was like, okay, we will release Dragon King, but here's what we're also going to do. We're also going to give you these credit scenes, because we know y'all been sitting on thousand credits, and we need to find a way to sync those credits that y'all have, especially the ones that people bought it for and really money traded for, and also led to prices being so bad that we all complained about it and marched to the forums and so forth. Yes, I'm going there too. We are still recovering from the mistake of certain people. We're still recovering financially from the mistake of certain people that would not allow us to have nice things. So now them, all of us have to suffer because of their actions, and we still are suffering. Where are you going with this? Do you guys really think that the next thing that I'm about to talk about, they won't change that either? What? I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So, with that being said, so same people also be the main ones talking about redware. Why can't I drop a red? It's been such and such run. Why can't I drop a red? If you want to drop your stuff faster, if you want to drop your stuff faster, use these damn triggers, please. Use the triggers. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear no excuse. If you don't want to spend, cause I already know somebody's gonna complain about I already know someone's gonna complain about the cost of the what's it face. In fact, here, let me help you. In fact, here, let me help you. Let me actually show it to you guys, so you guys will know what I'm talking about. You guys are probably sitting here like, you guys are probably sitting here like, what are you talking about the third model? No. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys two things. I want to show you guys two things. But I need to download it first. But I want to show you guys two things. I want to show you guys the craft requirements for the third module. The one that's untradeable. The one that if you craft the red third module, it becomes untradeable. But that's just in case if you can't drop the red mod. And I also want to show you guys. The thing that I'm about to talk about in a few. Because I didn't notice until I was shown this yesterday. I knew we were getting this. I just wasn't shown this yesterday, and that's the thing. I mean, no, I knew we was getting this. I just didn't know that we were. I just didn't know how much it costs and so forth, and so I need to give you guys this heads up. Hold on a second. Hold on. Look. Okay. So y'all see how much it costs. Y'all see the amount of material that you need. Keep in mind that this is going to be per character. Which means that if they don't reduce the material costs, this is going to be per character. Say you have let's say 7 characters to work on, and for 7 characters you can't drop the model, or you can't drop the model for 7 characters. You have no choice but to rely on the pity. You're going to need 70,000 chromes. You won't have that unless you are a hardcore grinder to the point where you severely burn yourself out and want to quit. So yeah, if you guys don't want to deal with that, if you guys don't want to have to put up with that, if I were y'all, I would take those Beast King purple triggers. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. I'm trying to look out for you people. I know a lot of y'all don't like me. Y'all want to clown me. That's cool. But this time, please listen to me. If y'all don't want to have to, if y'all don't want to have to, deal with having the craft app, please listen to me, and please use the Beast King purple triggers that so that it can help you guys drop faster. I promise you, these triggers will help you guys drop faster. You guys have to have patience. Patience is key. I understand the frustration of not being able to drop. I get it. But when you guys, I've been saying this a lot lately. I understand when people are frustrated and they need to vent or something. But when it becomes excessive, it makes the environment around it start to make the environment uncomfortable. If you guys keep complaining about not being able to drop and stuff, people are not gonna want you in their parties. Like some people have different people have different amount of tolerance. If you keep complaining about dropping over and over again, people are going to start to avoid you. Or if you're known for complaining 24/7, people are going to start to avoid you and not want to talk to you. Or even if you're known to be toxic and hateful, people are going to start to want to avoid you. If you're one of those people and you know it and you keep complaining about not being able to drop and stuff, not or just doing that every day or doing that every day, people are going to start to avoid you. If you don't, I understand not being able to drop, but I've been trying to tell you guys for the longest that the found item bonus actually does work. It's just that you need to have patience. You have to just keep running it, it will drop. I know a lot of y'all don't have the same mindset that I have, but being for real, if you keep running it with the triggers, it will drop. You will see results. It may take you a long time at first, but you will start to see results. Keep running, the grind will pay off. But if you still want to use the DPS triggers, please do not complain about if you still want to use the DPS triggers or the damage triggers, please please try to control the amount of complaining that you do for if you can't drop a red or if you can't drop something, because it gets very annoying, and I'm speaking for a lot of people. It gets very annoying. We get tired of it. We get tired of the complaining 24/7. We get tired of the bitching and whining 24/7. We get tired of the unlimited skill points win 24/7. It gets tiring after a point. That's why people start to avoid you or people start to stop talking to you. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to call people out. I'm saying this because I care. Now moving on. Let's talk about the EX tunes. So the EX tunes, yes, we're getting new tunes. We're getting a grade higher than SS. They said SSS. Nah, that's a little too. That's a little too much. How about EX tunes? We have EX skills, so why not EX tunes? So EX tunes is a grade higher than SS tunes. Now we have new components. We have new components for we have new gear plugs for the costume EX tunes. Yes, because apparently it's going to be costume EX tunes, but that's data mine, so we're not sure yet. But we know there's going to be EX tunes for gear that is level 95. So, Here's now having new tunes. I kind of expected we would eventually have to deal with that. What is doing it for me is the fact that what's doing it for me is the fact that the cost to EX tune to put EX tune is going to be 570K. That is half a mil per tap. Yeah, that is half a mil per tap. So we gotta talk. We gotta talk about this. This is what I mean by now we have to spend wiser. We're gonna have to start to spend wiser, because if you don't want to pay that much, if you don't want to always be out of money, we're gonna have to start to spend wiser. It's like, let me put it in a more recent example. Yeah, let me put it in a more recent example. This is basically how the Americans are going to be for the next 4 years, being under Trump's presidency. We're gonna have to spend wiser. We're gonna have to be more smarter with our money, because prices are going to start to go up, and we're gonna have a hard time affording things, because he's going to put tariffs on things, and people who voted for Trump didn't know what tariffs are. Why are you making this? This is too political. I'm telling you guys this because they started raising prices for tuning, and they started raising prices for enhancing. You notice that plus 29 to plus 30 is 1.8 mil per tap, right? And you notice that now we have to spend credits in order to transfer our pluses now, right? So moving a plus 20 module to moving a plus 20 flame wave module to a plus 19 Dragon King model is 166 mil. Moving a plus 25 Beast King weapon or transformed indie weapon to plus 24 Fallen Dragon weapon is 415 mil. And imagine if you have to do this for like 7 to 8 characters. That right there is around 5 builds that has to be wasted, and you haven't even gotten to enhancing yet. That's transferring pluses alone. That's not even trying to enhance and so forth. If you feel like doing it yourself, guys, the things on the games are starting to get more and more expensive. Nautic is starting to demand more money. They need more money in order to run their game. So we're kind of gonna have to pay for it. Not only that, I've noticed that things are starting to get more expensive. Before, we didn't even think about the enhancing costs. We really didn't. All we knew was that we just need to have, like, let's say 2 bill, 4 bill. But because some idiots decided to pressure the staff and piss off the staff, we're suffering because of them. And this is one of the many ways we are suffering because of them. One of the main ways we are suffering because of them, because now we actually have to pay out of pocket VIA credits in order to move stuff over and enhance stuff. Okay, let me bring up the whale wings to further prove my point. So the whale wings that we have is actually some of these prices, in order to get to some of these credit prices, in order to get to plus 20, they had to double the price and then do some small tweaks to the price, in order for us to have some credit sinks. Since the credit burner that we have, no one's really putting money into that because, well, yeah. So they're like, okay, let's give them ways to burn those credits. So we can re-roll, we can re-roll, uh, we can re-roll to get the right grades that we need, or, you know. Basically, the point I'm trying to make is, we're now going to be spending much more credits than we've ever been, especially after, certain people being idiotic, not caring about everyone else. Certain people being idiotic and not caring about anyone else. I'm not even mad anymore, but I'm just gonna give y'all the heads up to start spending wiser. And this time it's not going to be because of, we are currently still recovering from the stuff that these idiots done, and so everyone is paying the price. We're still recovering from that, including the rushing of content because those same people can't help themselves and feel like they're entitled to rush the staff and pressure the staff, even though they sometimes forget that they're human. But the a thing forums, I know, I get it. I'm taking the most heat for it anyways. I've been taking the most heat for it. I'm aware. I'm in the wrong, you're in the right, let's move on. The point I'm trying to make is we're still recovering from Dragon King dropping. We're still recovering financially. We've been struggling. Everyone, including the whales, have been struggling to sell bit rates. You notice that we have a lot of people trying to sell bits because that's the best way to gain credits, right? Even the whales of whales have been trying to sell bits, but not many people have been buying it. So that price gotta go down. So the good news is, whoever I won't say names started the bit rates being 50, 100, it will possibly go down. It will possibly go down a lot because people are still recovering from Dragon King and still trying to get their stuff. We are also broke to the point where we started grinding on multiple alts in order to get and finding ways to get money and stuff. There's other things in Factor 2, but I'm going to skip over that because I'm sick and tired of everybody bitching and whining about stuff. But for the most part, just know that we're still recovering from Dragon King releasing and everybody going broke because they have to get their stuff. So it'll be a long time before we finally get back up on our feet. But trust when I say that everybody, including the whales, are suffering. So there's a good thing come out. So that also explains why the staff was somewhat calm, cool, collected, even though they're annoyed about the fact that people kept rushing them for content, including the unlimited skill points. I won't be surprised if the unlimited skill points that those same idiots keep pressuring the staff about, it's starting to annoy them. Get to the point. I am getting to the point. I'm telling you guys that we're still recovering from Dragon King releasing. Anyways, that's gonna come for tuning. So the reason why I want to talk about the EX tuning is because we're gonna be retuning our gear again. So that's going to be fun. We're gonna be retuning our gear again. Not only that, the cost for tuning. Before, we didn't have to think much about the cost for enhancing and the cost for tuning. Now we gotta think about the cost for enhancing and tuning. We have to factor that inside of our plannings now. That's if you plan. But knowing the majority of this community, they don't think about planning. Instead, they jump in head first, and then they complain and bitch and whine later. That's very insulting. I know that sounds insulting, but that's exactly how they tackle content. They jump in head first, they don't think about things, and then they don't think about things, they don't think things through, they just jump in head first and then complain and bitch and whine and huff and puff later. Listen, at this point, I'm just gonna tell it like it is. I'm already being labeled as a villain. I'm just gonna tell it like it is at this point. You ain't gotta be so mean about it. Well, y'all hate the truth. Y'all hate the truth. Y'all gonna hate the same way, so I don't care. Anyways, that's not the most important point that I want to make is, like I said, thing updates are going to start to get more and more expensive unless the Korean community finally decide, okay, we're getting tired of the devs torturing us because we keep asking for challenging quotation mark challenging content. Let's all march to the forums and ask. Let's all march to the Korean forums and ask if we can finally deduct some of these costs. We can't keep up. Knowing the Koreans, they're probably like, it's fine, we can do this. So, what does that mean for us? Considering that we have all pissed the code closer staff off, I would not be surprised if we all march and ask for a deduction on the credit cost for tuning. I would not be surprised if we ask, they say no, or they just don't reply and be like, nah, we'll keep it the same. For example, how I asked them to make the prices for upgrading the whale wings back to its original price. They ignored that, as well as a certain somebody saying absolutely not, and I asked for the reason and never got a reply. So that tells me that they're keeping the credit costs for the phase wings. I'm talking about the phase wings that I was talking about earlier. That tells me that they're going to keep that the same. What about other prices? They're probably going to keep that the same to continue to sync the credits and stuff. So, as much as I would like for them to make the credit costs, the initial costs, the ones that are on other servers, because they can in fact make adjustments, we're gonna have to make do. So, at some point, well, throughout these updates, as we start to get more and more updates, those updates are going to cost more and more unless they decide, okay, we have enough credit sinks, let's start to make some adjustments, which is going to be a long time for them to do that because they're going to be focused on other things. So, what I'm saying is, expect some of your closest friends, including your crewmates, start to slowly quit because they can't take it and the credit cost is too much for stuff. They're going to feel overwhelmed, especially the newer people. Expect the newer people to not stay for long because they're going to feel overwhelmed with all the content and all the credit costs that they have to do. Yes, we have content that gives us a lot of credits and so forth, but the average we have a newer generation of gamers. These gamers are not used to the heavy grind that we, the oldies, the veterans, we are used to. We're used to the grind. We're used to sitting down and grinding for hours and everything. Some of these newer players, they're not used to that. They're used to handouts. They're used to getting hand everything on a silver platter, and if you don't give it to them, they're used to turning up like their parents do. They're used to throwing fists, huffing, puffing, complaining about it until they finally get it. They're used to acting like Karens. It's learned behavior. They're used to acting entitled, basically. They learn it from their parents. That's why people have been saying Generation Alpha and people that are my generation, Generation Z. That's why they're saying that Generation Alpha and the Generation Alphabet is cooked. They're not used to working hard for stuff. They're not used to they're not used to working hard for stuff. They're not used to grinding. They're not used to reading and so forth. A lot of people in our own generation, as well as Gen Alpha, they don't even really read. What does that? Why are you going to that? I'm basically saying that they're not gonna. I'm basically saying that the main reason why. I'm basically saying that the main reason why um, these games now have went to the trope of just make things look pretty and shiny and make things look attainable at first in order to capture the newer players and then work to get them to stay, because the old tactics don't work anymore. Now you have to actually like now you actually have to like get up, make things look pretty and shiny in order for the new people to show up, because they won't fall for the same things that we fell for. We just wanted something to do with our time because we had time to do stuff. They, yeah. I won't get into it. I won't get into it. That's why I'm trying to shorten some of this stuff. But anyways, you'll start to see some of your closest friends. You'll start to see some of your closest friends, your guild mates, your newer guild mates, the newer players. You'll start to see them quit over time because the cost for everything is starting to get overwhelming and it's starting to get repetitive. But for the longest time, people have been quitting closers because things are too repetitive. But that's a lot of they're forgetting. But they're forgetting that closers is a MMORPG. These are usually grind heavy games. But nowadays, they're starting to try to lessen that grind so that they can get the newer generation to stay. That's why me, alongside other people who are veterans, were like, man, they don't know how easy they have it. Back in my day, we had to do, like, for example, if something is like 10 runs, now, before, it was like maybe 250 runs. They shorten it in order to get the newer generation of players coming in to stay. But those newer people feel more entitled because they feel like they work for it, when in actuality they dumb down the grind for the newer generation because they know that people have a short attention span. And they won't stick around as long as we will. So if anyone ever thought like, why they're doing all this now, that's why. It'll go over everyone's head for now, which I'm not surprised. It's gonna go over everyone's head for now. It won't click it won't click for most people until they finally see it. They just want the information, and they just want the information that haven't hit so they can go and shit talk on their event channels and whatever. But that's whatever. And the point I'm trying to make is, expect a lot of people to start to quit over time. But that's normal. Let me put it this way. Expect to see people quit over time, and then it slowly but surely become increasingly alarming, to the point where you'll start to see people say, dead game, this game is dying. You'll start to see more and more people say, dead game, this game is dying. That's because things are starting to get more and more expensive, and it will start to become more overwhelming, and people will start to want to quit. Just a heads up. Okay, that's all I want to talk about. So, the overview is, use the found item bonus on these triggers. They will help out. Be a little bit more wiser with spending your credits, because now trying to earn more credits is going to be more scarce. And As for your resources, like say the chromes and the stickies. I understand if you are desperate for wanting credits and everything. Try to save some just in case you have no choice but to craft the third module. And one last thing. What's the last thing? And yeah, I understand the frustration of playing a character. I understand the frustration of not being able to drop, but try not to complain about it too much, or else people are going to start to avoid you, and people are going to not want to, or people are not going to want you in their parties and stuff. Try to avoid doing that all the time, like every day, like multiple times a day, every day. Try to avoid doing that. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to. I know I'm well aware that I'm about to hurt some people's feelings, but some people need to hear this. So, yeah.